What if I told you that buried in your fruit bowl lies one of the most powerful natural prescriptions for regaining lost muscle after the age of 60? It may sound surprising, even unbelievable. But for those of us who have spent decades researching the biology of aging and nutrition, the science is not only compelling, it is urgent. After 60, muscle loss is not just an aesthetic concern. It becomes a threat to your mobility, your independence, your recovery time, and yes, even your life expectancy. In the medical field, we call this condition sarcopenia. And here's the most pressing truth. We lose 3 to 5% of our muscle mass every 10 years after midlife if we don't intervene. But here is the breakthrough. Recent advances in cellular biology and nutritional science have revealed that certain fruits contain compounds that do more than simply support muscle health. They actively stimulate muscle regeneration, reduce inflammation, optimize mitochondrial function, and revive the very stem cells that build new muscle. In this video, I'll walk you through 5 of the most scientifically validated fruits that help reverse muscle loss after 60. You will learn how they work, when to eat them, what to pair them with, and what biological mechanisms they unlock. So if you or someone you love is over 60 and worried about feeling weaker, slower, or more fragile, stay with me until the end, because this is not a list of foods. It is a protocol, a precise strategy for reclaiming strength and mobility through the language your cells understand. 1. Muscle loss isn't inevitable. The cellular signals that matter. Let me begin by challenging a dangerous myth. That muscle loss is just an unavoidable part of aging. It is not. What changes is our internal signaling system, how our cells respond to nutrients, exercise, and recovery. In fact, imagine your muscle cells like a team of workers in a factory. In your youth, they receive clear, frequent instructions to build, repair, and grow. But as the years pass, those signals start to fade, like a radio losing frequency. The workers are still there, but they're waiting, confused, underutilized. This is why many older adults feel weaker even if they maintain a similar diet or activity level. One of the most important regulators of muscle health is a cellular pathway called mTOR, mechanistic target of rapamycin. Think of it as a master switch for muscle protein synthesis. When mTOR is activated, your body gets the signal. Start building muscle. Traditionally, we associate mTOR activation with strength training and protein intake, especially amino acids like leucine. But here's the remarkable truth. Certain fruits can also amplify this process, either by directly activating mTOR or creating the internal conditions for it to function optimally. This is a game changer. It means that your daily food choices can directly influence your internal repair system. And it's not about extreme dieting or supplements, it's about nature. For example, ellagic acid found in prune skins, cranberries, and apples boosts IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor 1, and reduces muscle atrophy genes. According to a study from the University of Iowa, published in Cell Metabolism, ellagic acid improved lean muscle mass and increased brown fat in mice, even without exercise. Let that sink in. A natural compound in everyday fruits helped mimic some of the benefits of resistance training. That doesn't mean we should skip workouts, but it shows that nutrition can amplify the body's response, even when exercise is limited by joint pain, fatigue, or other age-related factors. No, fruit won't replace resistance training, but it can amplify your efforts and overcome something called anabolic resistance, the diminished ability to build muscle as we age. Think of it this way: your workouts are the message. These fruits are the megaphone. Next, let me show you which fruit carries this message the loudest. 2. Apples. The power of the peel. Apples are often overlooked in the conversation about muscle health, but their skins are rich in ursolic acid, one of the most potent natural compounds for muscle preservation. What's remarkable is how this everyday fruit hides a bioactive gift just beneath its surface. In fact, it's the skin, so often discarded or peeled away, that holds the true power. Ursolic acid, found abundantly in apple peels, has been studied for its remarkable ability to prevent muscle breakdown and promote lean mass gain. Ursolic acid works by activating IGF-1 signaling, inhibiting muscle atrophy pathways, and even mimicking some of the cellular responses we see during resistance training. This means that even when you're not lifting weights, your body is receiving subtle cues that support growth and maintenance. It also improves the environment for satellite cells, the muscle stem cells responsible for regeneration. These cells, which sit quietly near muscle fibers, are like emergency responders. They're activated when damage or stress occurs. But in older adults, these responders are often dormant. Ursolic acid helps wake them up, creating a more supportive landscape for muscle repair. But there's a catch. Ursolic acid is fat-soluble. To unlock its full benefit, apples should be eaten with a source of healthy fat. Think nut butter or full-fat yogurt. You might also consider variety. Different apple types, like Granny Smith, Fuji, or Honeycrisp, contain varying levels of polyphenols and acid concentration, which may subtly influence their health benefits. And while all apples offer fiber and antioxidants, it's the peel that elevates their muscle-supporting potential. And for timing, after a walk or during your evening wind down, when your body is most ready to absorb nutrients for repair. Let's move now from the apple tree to the deep blues of the next muscle-boosting fruit. 3. Blueberries, fuel for your cellular engines. Have you noticed it takes longer to recover from a workout or even a long walk than it did in your 40s? That's often not about muscle mass itself, but mitochondrial efficiency. This delay in recovery, whether it shows up as soreness that lingers longer or a heaviness in your legs, often points to something deeper, a slowdown in the cellular engines that keep you moving. Your mitochondria are the power plants inside your muscle cells. They generate the energy required for contraction, repair, and endurance. But with age, especially after 60, their number and function decline. The result? Less cellular energy, slower repair, and diminished stamina. This is where blueberries shine. Rich in anthocyanins, these antioxidants don't just reduce inflammation, they activate a gene called PGC1-alpha, which promotes the formation of new mitochondria. In a 2020 study published in the Journals of Gerontology, older adults who consumed 35 grams of freeze-dried blueberries daily for 12 weeks showed improved mitochondrial function, better strength, and enhanced mobility. The improvement wasn't just on paper, it was observable in daily function. People walked more confidently, climbed stairs with greater ease, and felt more resilient overall. For best results, have blueberries after physical activity, or add them to a morning smoothie with a scoop of protein. Their benefits compound over time, so consistency is key. Frozen or fresh, organic or not, blueberries retain their core properties. You don't need to make it complicated. Even stirring them into oatmeal or blending into cottage cheese can become a delicious habit that quietly powers your recovery. But blueberries are only one piece of the antioxidant puzzle. Let's now turn to nature's anti-inflammatory powerhouse. 4. Tart cherries, inflammation's natural foe. Muscle soreness, slower recovery, joint stiffness. These are not just about overuse, they are signs of chronic low-grade inflammation, a process known as inflammaging. This silent inflammation doesn't show up like a fever or a swollen joint. Instead, it simmers quietly beneath the surface, interfering with muscle recovery, accelerating tissue breakdown, and making everyday movements feel heavier. It's one of the key drivers of age-related decline in the strength and mobility, and yet it's often ignored. Enter tart cherries, particularly the Montmorency variety. These contain high levels of anthocyanins and polyphenols, compounds proven to reduce markers like CRPC reactive protein, IL-6, and TNF-alpha. Unlike general antioxidants, the specific polyphenolic profile in tart cherries has been linked to a powerful anti-inflammatory cascade, meaning these aren't just nutritious fruits, they're targeted allies in fighting muscular inflammation and preserving function. In a randomized controlled trial published in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition, people who drank tart cherry juice before and after strenuous exercise had less muscle soreness, faster recovery, and lower inflammation markers than the placebo group. But perhaps more impressively, daily tart cherry consumption lowered inflammation even without exercise in older adults. This makes them especially helpful for seniors with limited mobility or chronic joint pain, people who can't always push themselves physically but still want to heal. Protocol? Drink 8 to 12 ounces of unsweetened tart cherry juice 1 to 2 hours before bedtime. Not only does this reduce inflammation, but tart cherries are also a natural source of melatonin, which supports deeper sleep and nighttime muscle repair. And speaking of nighttime cramps and nerve signaling, the next fruit offers vital minerals often missing from aging diets. 5. Bananas, the electrolyte balancer, muscle cramps, stiff legs, slower reflexes. These symptoms are not always signs of fatigue. They can indicate a deeper issue. Mineral depletion, particularly potassium and magnesium. This depletion is more common than many realize, especially in older adults. As we age, our kidneys may become less efficient at conserving potassium, and digestive absorption of magnesium can also decline. Add to that common medications, like diuretics or certain blood pressure drugs, that further drain these minerals, and you've got a recipe for cramping, weakness, and restless legs. Bananas, often wrongly dismissed as just sugar, are rich in potassium, about 425 milligrams per medium fruit. Potassium is critical for nerve transmission and muscle contraction. Without it, your muscle fibers struggle to respond, especially during activity or at night. It's like trying to start your car with a dead battery. Your nerves are ready to fire, but the connection falls flat. Magnesium, also present in bananas, is essential for muscle relaxation and energy production. Deficiencies lead to tightness, poor sleep, and impaired recovery. Bananas also offer a gentle carbohydrate source that replenishes glycogen stores, helping you bounce back faster after exertion, especially when paired with protein. According to the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, higher potassium intake is associated with greater muscle mass and strength in older adults. Use protocol. After exercise, eat one banana paired with a protein source, Greek yogurt or nut butter. In the evening, it can also help reduce nocturnal cramps and prepare your body for recovery. And if you're worried about blood sugar, don't be. When eaten with protein or fat, the glycemic impact of bananas is moderated, making them a muscle-friendly choice, even for those managing glucose. But minerals are only part of the equation. Your muscles also need oxygen and nutrients delivered efficiently. That brings us to the circulatory superfruit. 6. Pomegranates, fueling blood flow and recovery. Imagine trying to build a house, but lacking the trucks to deliver bricks and cement. That's what happens when aging reduces your circulatory efficiency. As we get older, our blood vessels lose flexibility, and the endothelium, the delicate inner lining that controls dilation and constriction, becomes less responsive. This doesn't just affect your heart, it limits how efficiently your muscles receive the nutrients and oxygen they need to grow, heal, and function. Pomegranates are rich in elagitannins, which convert to urolithins in the gut. These compounds significantly increase nitric oxide, an NO production, a natural vasodilator that relaxes blood vessels and improves oxygen delivery to muscles. Nitric oxide acts like a green light on the highway of your bloodstream. It tells your vessels to widen, reducing resistance and allowing vital fuel to reach tissues that need repair. This is especially important after activity, when muscles are primed to absorb glucose, amino acids, and oxygen. In a 2016 clinical nutrition study, older adults consuming pomegranate extract experienced enhanced blood flow, oxygen uptake, and better walking performance. And there's more. Bonus, urolithin A also activates autophagy, the process of cleaning out damaged mitochondria and cellular waste. This dual function, improving delivery while cleaning the house, makes pomegranate unique among fruits. Suggested use: drink 4 to 6 ounces of unsweetened pomegranate juice 30 to 60 minutes before light exercise, or sprinkle seeds into a yogurt bowl with healthy fats to boost absorption. This fruit is not just beautiful on the outside, it's a molecular multitasker on the inside. We now understand the science, but how do we build habits that last? 7. Nutrition meets behavior, making it stick. Science is powerful, but behavior change is what transforms lives. It's one thing to know what helps your muscles. It's another thing entirely to follow through day after day when no one's watching. That's where the real challenge begins. According to neuroscience, habits become permanent when they are tied to identity, emotion, and repetition. One proven technique: use when-then statements to automate healthy choices. When I finish my walk, then I eat an apple with almond butter. When I start cooking dinner, then I take out the pomegranate juice. These aren't just casual intentions, they're cognitive cues. This taps into the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making and willpower. In other words, you're building a structure, mentally and physically, that makes consistency feel effortless over time. Also, emotional reframing matters. Eating these fruits is not a chore. It is a vote for your future strength, independence, and longevity. This is not about dieting, restriction, or chasing an unrealistic image. It's about being able to carry your groceries, walk confidently into your 80s, and enjoy a level of freedom most people assume they have to give up. Visualize yourself climbing stairs without hesitation, picking up your grandchild without wincing, or waking up pain-free. Each bite is a step toward that version of you. You don't need perfection, you need a rhythm. A sustainable, self-reinforcing rhythm of small actions, done daily, that whisper to your body, I'm still strong. I still grow. So let's bring it all together. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've just uncovered. We began by challenging the idea that muscle loss is simply part of getting older. It is not inevitable, it is responsive, and you've now seen how specific fruits can nourish not just your body, but your cellular intelligence. Apples, with their ursolic acid, help activate muscle-building pathways. Blueberries ignite your mitochondria, giving your cells the energy they need to recover and grow. Tart cherries quiet the fire of chronic inflammation, making healing possible in the quiet hours of the night. Bananas replenish essential minerals like potassium and magnesium, restoring the delicate electric signals that move you through your day. And pomegranates, those ruby red gems, improve blood flow and oxygen delivery, so every nutrient you eat reaches the places that need it most. But knowledge without action is like fruit left to spoil on the counter. The true power comes from making it stick, through rhythm, repetition, and emotional connection. So if you've made it this far, thank you. Truly. Thank you for taking your health seriously, for investing your time, and for trusting me to guide you through it. If this message has resonated with you, consider subscribing to the channel. It's completely free, but it tells the platform and me that these are the kinds of conversations you value. And it helps us reach others who might need this message just as much as you do. Leave a comment below. Which fruit will you start with today? Which habit feels most doable right now? And remember, no matter your age, your body is still listening. So speak to it kindly, feed it wisely, and give it a reason to stay strong, one bite at a time. Until next time, take care and keep moving forward.